Welcome everyone, we are going into the second game's draft. Joined with us, a special guest. It's going to be LS, Bwipo, of course Kobe and myself. What were your thoughts on the first game's draft overall?
The first game draft, I thought it was a little bit weird because Team Liquid, they opened B1 Azir, and I think that, I really think B1 Azir should not be viable in modern meta, but it just continues to get away. And I felt like Shopify Rebellion, they have a really funny chance to do something crazy, which is just take Ziggs. Because not only does it vacuum answer the Azir, it theme answers him, lets you develop the draft, his multi-flex, and then it steals APA's best champion for the remainder of Fearless.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, that makes sense. Like, actually, and also, you didn't get a prediction. We had this huge graphic of predictions for the series. You got to tell us what your prediction is with game numbers in tow.
I think Shopify is going to end up walking away. It's either 3-0 or 3-1, but I think Shopify Rebellion will take the win.
All right, we have you for the draft for this one, so let's just go straight into it already. We're already seeing the Yone ban, but I don't think, they have first banned Yone, I feel like, in every game, Team Liquid. So what are your thoughts so far going into game two? I want to hear all your guys' opinion, honestly.
From my perspective, I think it's really important that Shopify are very aware of the blind pick tank that is coming. The Gwen gets banned out here. That should ring some alarm bells. A Sion could be on the horizon here. Something similar. When Rumble is out, he's kind of a champion that is a blind pick champion that also does really well into most tanks. He's got really good Imar Shred on his E, and he obviously has max health damage on Q, plus his passive, which means that when Rumble and Gwen are out, a lot of people start getting more comfortable blind picking tanks. I'm looking forward to see what Fudge has got cooked on the red side for this Sion that is incoming, because I'm assuming it's going to be a Sion blind.
Yeah.
So this was really interesting because Nico was banned by TL in game one, and now they're opting for B1 Nico. This is also one of APA's champions. This is one of his favorite champions that he's played time and time again. I think he's one of the only pro players that actually uses the special Nico hotkeys that exist when you load into the game with her. A lot of people don't even know that that's a thing, and that lets you do the quick transforms for special champion interactions. So I agree with everything that Bwipo just said, and also even more so because I'm wondering if Impact even wants to try to play carry or bruiser matchups into Fudge for this series after just what happened in game one.
100%.
Yeah, I feel like if he plays another semi-carry / bruiser champion, it would be like Renekton or something, but I definitely agree. Like Sion and Ornn look pretty good for blind picks for him this game. Let's see what they go with though.
This is a little interesting in that you have Kalista coming up. Obviously, it can potentially have the Nico pairing, but I think that if you're going to lock okay, never mind. Xin Zhao is going to get locked here. I am a really big Xin Zhao hater if he doesn't have enchanters accompanying him, because I think it completely morphs the champion. He goes from being like B tier, like low A, to S, or I'll say it Z, freak. How you doing? And there's the Sion that Bwipo was talking about. And Fudge, I think, is just going to be able to punish this.
I think he should be able to. One thing to note is with Lucian as a pairing, a lot of teams really prioritize enchanters with him. Some teams have pivoted towards the Braum. Globally, Lucian Braum has been very, very popular as well. In this case, however, TL is basically throwing down the gauntlet saying, you know what, we're going to slam Sion blind. If you take your enchanter pairing or your Braum, we are going to ban out the Lucian match, like the Lucian champions that people like to pair him with, and then we're going to be able to either attack the Lucian and the enchanters or attack the counter picks for Fudge.
So I want to get your thoughts also, Bwipo. If you are the coach for Shopify right now, what are you going to give to Fudge to counter this blind pick Sion for Impact?
Well, we'll have to look at the first round of bans, the second round of bans here real quick. Obviously, there's the Renekton. I think that matchup is just very simple, very easy to play, and you are going to be able to beat out the Sion in lane and then have more impact mid-game. Sion's biggest strength is not that he's a late-game scaling tank, it's that he spikes mid-game. Health is at its most valuable in mid-game before penetration items comes in, because Sion rushes our resistances, scales his soul furnace with those resistances, and then when the penetration items come in, that's when he starts falling off. So if you match him with a super strong spiking mid-game carry like Renekton, he's just going to be tankier than the Sion and deal more damage because the Sion gets focused down too easily by a Black Cleaver Renekton. So we're going to have to look at if there's any bans there. I personally don't like the Gnar too much. I feel like Gnar is a bit of a non-factor, so we'll have to see what Fudge has cooked up. I'm expecting a Renekton ban here for Sion, but it's not necessary. You can choose to play that matchup.
And then LS, for me, which side of the draft do you like so far in first phase, and what do you think both teams need to do to complete the draft?
Well, I'm thinking the Nico is still potentially a flex pick, and they might have made Shopify Rebellion think that it's going to end up going support, and so you get the Lucian Nami, and then, what is Nico going to end up pairing with, and then you sort of play it from there. I think that also Shopify, they might even have other things in mind for playing against the Sion. Like, they might actually just go tank versus scaling tank and then just get a bigger tank. I'm a little bit worried if they, depending on what their fourth pick is here, that Team Liquid actually just pivots into a lot of scaling. I'm not a very big fan of the Aatrox because this is making the Shopify Rebellion team comp now very focused on the mid game. They have to essentially stack Drakes early now, guaranteed Lucian Nami, get ahead early, stack those dragons, and now they must win the third dragon fight. And I always hate team compositions that are predicated on trying to and guaranteeing a third dragon win.
Do you think there's anything from Shopify Rebellion's comp that can save that and allow them to scale a little better?
I don't know what they're going to aim for on. They're giving counterpick to Palafox on R5.
Yeah.
But I think if you're TL and you recognize this, you just try to match power now in the bot lane. Neeko, one of the unsung things about her is she gets prio in a lot of matchups. And because APA is so proficient on her, I wonder if that's just going to be the pivot. And they might just actually go Aphelios and then counterpick, yeah, and that's what's going to happen. The Nami, and now your plan of stacking the dragons goes out the wayside. The Aatrox pick is now neutralized. And Shopify have to win this by third Drake. I hate this, Bwipo. I hate it.
I mean, I'm a big fan of Aatrox in general right now. I do feel like he's quite powerful. He's getting buffs on live. I'm not sure why, because I personally think that he does snowball incredibly hard, but it is paramount that he gets a lead in the 1v1 if he wants to have any impact this game. Aphelios, Neeko, does not have enough single target damage to take out Aatrox if he gets ahead. If he stays even or goes behind, it's going to be really easy to lock him down in a Neeko ult and one-shot him. However, he can be quite a beast this game if he manages to squeeze gold leads.
The other thing for me is that Xin Zhao, his Crescent Guard, it's going to be able to defend against Lucian Nami and be able to tank for the team when other teams won't be able to. Neeko has her clone that she's able to utilize. Aphelios, one of the best stand your ground AD carries in the game, along with Kog'Maw, which Bwipo played yesterday. And this is a stand your ground team composition. I think TL just smashed the draft. I think this is very difficult for Shopify Rebellion to play unless they pulverize, get ahead in the mid game.
I agree with you 100%. The laning phase is going to have to go swimmingly for Shopify in order for them to get a gold lead this game, because without a gold lead, I don't think any of their champions can stand their ground. One of Sion's biggest strengths is the biggest mid-game tank in the game.
Right.
So when he slams the Onslaught, his ultimate straight into Sejuani, he just wins front to back with a Lulu behind him and a Xin Zhao. So they have to make sure that the Aatrox gets ahead and potentially even Lucian Nami.
The one other thing that I would mention here is obviously Team Liquid, they used to have an affinity for lane swaps. Sion, one of the best lane swap champions, and Aatrox functions way worse on lower economy than Sion does in respect to these two team comps.
I also like Team Liquid's team comp is just a lot easier to play, so I feel like they should be able to bounce back in this game.
A heavy favorite towards Team Liquid's team composition, at least on the lounge. Let's send this one straight to the casters and hear your guys' thoughts.
I'm with you. I think TL cooked in this draft. I mean, I just am looking at how the comps have to play out. You have short range AD, you have this